technological effort of its time. But this
Science at NASA. Up above the clouds, Earth's atmosphere gives way to space. This interface is called the ionosphere. Changes in the ionosphere, in reaction to space weather above and Earth's weather below, can disrupt communications and GPS signals and could potentially harm astronauts. So it is important to understand the region fully. Two new NASA missions, the Ionospheric Connection Explorer, or ICON, and the Global Scale Observations of the Lemon Disk, or GOLD, will work together to uncover its secrets. Together, they'll provide the most comprehensive view to date of this critical layer of Earth's upper atmosphere. ICON, from 350 miles above the planet, will home in on the effects of terrestrial weather. For a broader view, GOLD will make global-scale observations of Earth's upper atmosphere, including the ionosphere, from an altitude of 22,000 miles, gathering observations of the entire disk once every 30 minutes, more frequently than any ionospheric mission has done before. It was long thought that our dynamic sun was solely responsible for change in the ionosphere, but recent studies show that Earth's weather dynamics also play a large part. Weather such as hurricanes and wind patterns near the planet's surface can influence both the atmosphere and the ionosphere. Mission scientists want to understand how weather phenomena affect the upper atmosphere and the nearest reaches of space. Scott England, ICON project scientist at Virginia Tech, explains, "We know Earth's ionosphere varies by an extraordinary amount from hour to hour and day to day, but we don't know the cause of much of this variability. ICON focuses on trying to understand if weather near Earth's surface can explain any of the changes we see in the ionosphere. ICON, which is planned to launch in 2018, will fly through the upper atmosphere, gathering information of the space it travels through, as well as observing the lower ionosphere from a distance. It will investigate properties of charged particles in the ionosphere and of neutral atmospheric particles, such as those shaped by weather far below, to determine how they interact. GOLD launched on January 25, 2018 aboard SES-14, a commercial communication satellite, and is the first experiment that can track hour-to-hour changes in the ionosphere. GOLD is flying on a geostationary satellite to image the ionosphere from a distance, similar to how weather satellites provide global-scale images of the Earth's lower atmosphere and surface. England says, GOLD will provide the context we need to separate what changes as a spacecraft moves from region to region from what is really changing with time. He continues, much like how we might study a hurricane through a combination of a weather satellite that can track its progress and an airplane that can capture up-close measurements, we can use ICON and GOLD to provide both the detailed and global-scale views of what is happening in our upper atmosphere and ionosphere. Together, ICON and GOLD will be a powerful combination. For more from the many layers that surround our planet, visit science.nasa.gov.
Planet Earth from space. This is the most famous environmental image, a sort of symbol of all things green. It was the result of the greatest technological effort of its time. But this image is a paradox. It embodies a paradox because we are simultaneously inside and outside this picture, because the picture was taken by human beings.
Earth's climate is the product of many rich and complex systems. It's affected by water in its many forms, on land, in the air, in the oceans, and as ice. It feels influences from vegetation, from soil conditions, from the carbon cycle, from human impacts. We study and observe our planet's ever-changing conditions in many ways, from many locations. One location in particular provides a unique and powerful vantage point, allowing us to see our planet in detail and on a broad scale. Space. The International Space Station is home to many instruments that help with the study of our planet in a variety of ways. Each is an amazing resource for scientists and researchers, but together, they paint a picture of Earth richer and more detailed than any one instrument could provide. From the vantage point of the orbiting laboratory, JEDI measures Earth's surface vegetation, producing 3D views of forest height and structure and the surface topography beneath. Forests and other plant life respond to a variety of environmental stresses, and the EcoStress instrument allows researchers to study plant temperature and provides insights into how life on Earth responds to changes in water availability. OCO3 measures atmospheric CO2 with high accuracy, helping researchers better understand CO2 increases and decreases and the impacts of those changes. And through the use of two cutting-edge spectral imagers on the station, ISWI and DESIS, researchers have access to highly detailed information on materials across Earth's surface, from identifying minerals and rock types to distinguishing between plant species. There's another and often overlooked observational instrument on board the space station: crew members equipped with digital cameras. Over 3 million images have been collected by astronauts from the station, and those images can be put to a variety of uses. William Stefanov is branch chief for the Exploration Science Office, a part of the Exploration Integration and Science Directorate at Johnson Space Center. He says handheld cameras used by the crew act as a complement to the data gathered by the station's various instruments. And that comes down to the ability of the crew to take pictures that are panoramic and oblique versus a straight-down look. That panoramic view can be quite useful when observing natural disasters as they occur, such as wildfires or volcanic eruptions. Stefanov explains, a camera is an excellent tool for examining the plumes created by wildfires or volcanoes, because it gives you an immediate three-dimensional picture of what the plume looks like, what its structure is, and how far it's extending. The observational instruments aboard the space station provide science capabilities that are more than the sum of their parts. These instruments, along with photography from crew members, serve to keep a multifunctional eye on the condition of our home planet. For more science from the International Space Station, go to www.nasa.gov/ISS-science. For more eye-opening information about space exploration, visit science.nasa.gov.